everyone. Very good morning. Sat Sri Akal, Namaste, Assalamu Alaikum. Happy Ganesh Chaturthi. Good to start off on Ganesh Chaturthi, right? What better way to start off an innovation event on the day when the God who is the one who brings good beginnings come in. Assalamu Alaikum, Sat Sri Akal, wherever you're joining from. Vanakkam, Namaste, Namaskara. My name is Pradeep Yuvraj. I've been given 50 minutes by Satnam and team to work with you on what you see there. Innovation, intrapreneurship, and the third eye. I took this third eye basically because I realized मारुति के एंड में एक आई है, सुजुकी के एंड में एक आई है, ISB में एक आई है, और आप एक आई हो, right? So that's where I kind of came up with this tagline of the third eye. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to put on some music. I want you to close your eyes, take deep breaths. Forget everything that's troubling you. आपके बाजू वाले के घर में कमला भाग गई है, वो सब छोड़ के, फिक्र छोड़ के 100% mentally, emotionally, physically यहाँ रहिएगा. Aditi, can you just give me a thumbs up if you are able to hear the music? Wonderful. Just close your eyes, take deep breaths and relax. All of you, just close your eyes, take deep breaths and relax. Do nothing. Wonderful. Please open your eyes. There are two reasons why I play this song almost as a prefix to every workshop that I do. Right? Number one, I know many of us were struggling for that 70 seconds that I played the song to keep our eyes closed. We are all, leading such a fast life. We are running, constantly running. Kabhi pata hai why we are running. Sometimes we have no clue why we are running. But the world expects us to always be doing something, right? You try sitting idle in your office and look at what the boss's reaction is going to be. But when you're running, it's very, very difficult to know whether you're in the right direction or no. It's very important many a times in life to take a pause, step back, and look at your own life as a third person. Because when you look at your life as a third person, you're able to see whether you're in the right direction or no. I want this next 15 minutes that we spend together to be that pause for all of you, where you step back from your running life and look at your own life as a third person. अगर सही direction में है, great. Direction नहीं है, let's correct the direction. But more importantly, the reason why I play this song is the lyrics that you heard, which is in my mother tongue Tamil. Agni kunjondru kandene rangor katilor pundirai veithen vendu tanindadu kaadu talal veerathil kunjendru mupendru mundo. This poem was written by Mahakavi Bardiyar. A translation I have done in Hindi is वो जोश ही है ऐसा हर युवा में वो बह रहा है चिंगारी एक थी छोटी पूरा जंगल सुलग रहा है. What it really means is I took a spark of fire and I left it deep inside the forest. And the next day when I came back, the entire forest was burned down to ashes. And that is the power of the Indian youth, is what Mahakavi Bardiyar wrote. This was written in the context of the freedom struggle, because the young Indians were, afraid of the British. They were thinking that we are, very tiny a speck. And Bardiyar said, no, even a spark is a tiny speck and it can actually burn down the entire forest. For you and me, what is that spark, my dear friends? Can you put it on chat, some of you? Maybe Aditi, I'll ask you, or let me ask Rahul Taylor. Rahul, in our life, what is that spark? वो क्या है? Ideas? Wonderful. We've got the answer, Rahul. So, absolutely yes, Aditi. That spark is nothing but the power of an idea. An idea has the power to burn down the entire forest, or metaphorically speaking, to change the world. When Elon Musk started, it was an idea. When Mr. Suzuki started, it was an idea. A very small idea. When Mark Zuckerberg started, it was an idea. When JRD Tata started, it was an idea. But the more you fuel and give oxygen to an idea, the idea has the power to change the entire world. So in the next 45 minutes with me, if there is one thing I would want all of you to remember, it is this, that in you, my dear friends, you have the power of an idea. You have the power to change the entire world. With that, let's get into the session. There are three things that I'm going to do today. One, I will help you understand the power of storytelling in a business context. And as much as Rohan and Devang and Satnam mentioned the innovation or the entrepreneurship competition, my goal would be to help you understand storytelling from the power of your everyday life, right? Whether you are in sales, whether you're in operations, whether in your HR, हर आपके जिंदगी के पहल में can you use the power of storytelling will be my goal, right? The entrepreneurship competition is a milestone in that whole thing. Second thing, I will try to help you. How do you communicate innovation? Each of you might have an idea that you see in your office, in your work. How do you communicate that to the external world? And finally, what does it take for you to become an intrapreneur is what we will try to understand. How did I reach here? My little journey. I started my career working for three of the largest companies in the world, ExxonMobil, Total, and Shell. In 2005, I did a very stupid mistake. I read this book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And the moment you read the book, the first kida that comes to you, correct, Dishti has a smile on her face, is कि मेरे को नौकरी नहीं करना है. I want to become an entrepreneur. So I became an entrepreneur, I quit my high-paying job at Shell, went back to my hometown, Coimbatore, started the business of designing race bikes. The company did wonderfully bad. I failed. I lost around 20 lakh rupees of my hard-earned money at the age of 27. But somehow this entrepreneurial kida is a very dangerous kida. It doesn't go off. So I started my next company and suddenly a fancy thing happened. The world started calling me serial entrepreneur. मैंने क्या किया था? एक company डूब गया and I was stupid enough to start the next one. But the key here is that these fancy designations and tags don't really mean anything. Like what Steve Jobs said, ideas are dime a dozen. What really matters is, can you take that idea and execute it into something that happens? And that is what I think Maruti Suzuki and the ISB team are doing, is to see if they can help you execute these ideas. Because ideas to har ek ke paas hai, hazar ideas hai, right? Anyway, the second company also failed. I lost around 10 lakh rupees of my hard-earned money. Started my third company, which was India's first workplace financial education company. We were on the verge of getting funded by Nexus Capital. And the 2008 financial crisis happened and I again had to close down the business. I was literally on the streets with not even 1 rupee to buy a cup of tea. And I became like Deadpool. You've seen the movie Deadpool, right? Kitna bhi goli maro, that guy keeps getting up. And that is what will happen to you when you are in the entrepreneurial journey, is you will fail. I am not here to motivate any of you to say that all of you will succeed. You will fail. But the key is fail fast. The faster you fail with your ideas, the faster you will reach success. Every single idea in the world failed for the first few attempts. Edison failed 10,000 times. Zuckerberg failed. Steve Jobs failed. Every new idea will fail, because the faster you fail, the faster you reach success. And that's what happened to me. My fourth business was a success. I sold to an employee and exited. My fifth business was a success. I sold to a partner and exited. My sixth business was acquired by a larger company out of Bangalore, and I exited with some good money. For the last 16 years, I have been busy with this child of mine that I call Presentum. We are a business storytelling and presentation strategy company. My day job is to work with startups and founders who are in the Series A, which means they're raising between $2 million to $5 million, close to around 15 crores to 30 crores, predominantly in the USA, to help them communicate their ideas to investors. They have brilliant ideas, but sometimes they struggle to communicate that to investors, and that's my day job. In the last 16 years, I have worked with almost 752 different startups from around the world. What I'm going to do today is to summarize these successes and failures of those startups, so that each of you, whether it is Aditi, Raj, Bondre, Kushal, Tyagi, Sai Prudvi, to stand on my shoulder, मेरे कंधे पे खड़े होके अगर आप अपनी जिंदगी के अगले दौर पे छलांग लगा सकें, that's what I will try to do. To stand on my shoulders and take the next leap in your life. That's my goal for today. So let's get started. Let's grab a paper and pen. I'm going to do a small Chintusa exercise and then we will keep moving, right? And Aditya and Samir, we started at 12:18, so I'm assuming I have time till 1:10 at least, right? Aditya? Wonderful. ठीक है. Super. Can all of you grab a paper and pen and draw whatever you see on the screen? Quick. Just draw the outline. Don't do the shading. Just draw the outline. Don't do the shading. Just draw the outline. Okay? And those of you who have a blur background or a virtual background, you may need to remove it because I can't see the answers otherwise when you show it to me. Awesome. Please divide the blue color into two equal similar looking parts. Divide the blue into two equal similar looking parts. So blue को दो भागों में बांटिए, दोनों समान भाग. Done? Super. Aditi, can you show it to me? Awesome. Super. So is this the answer everyone's got? Yep. Super. Thank you, Satnam. Now divide the green into three equal similar looking parts. तीन को green को तीन में बांटिए, तीनों समान भागों में बांटिए. Three equal similar looking parts. Okay, wonderful. Rahul has done it. Super. Is this the answer everyone's got? Awesome. Brilliant people in Maruti Suzuki. I'm so happy. Now please divide the red into four equal similar looking parts. Red को चार में बांटिए, चारों समान भागों में बांटिए. Four equal similar looking parts. Divide the red into four equal similar looking parts. Anyone? Okay, Sai, just look at it, Sai. There are two right angle triangles and two equilateral triangles. I need all the four to be similar. So, just for all of you to see, if you have done this, this is wrong because this is a right angle triangle, equilateral. If you have done these, this is also wrong because these two are equal, these two are equal. If you have done this, again wrong, these three are equal and this is equal. I need all the four to be equal and similar looking. Aditya phone a friend करने वाले लगता है. Done? Anyone? No? क्या हो गया? All the intelligent people कहाँ चले गए? Okay, because we don't have all day, I will. Yes, Madhusudan, wonderful. Mr. Madhusudan from Senior Advisor, wonderful. He's got the answer, and the answer is this: 1 part, 2 part, 3 parts, and 4 parts. You divide an L into 4 equal L's, and you get 4 parts. Yes, Parul. Now please divide the yellow into 7 equal similar looking parts. Yellow को 7 में बांटिए, सातों समान भागों में बांटिए. Divide the yellow into 7 equal similar looking parts. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Harsh, you'll have to show me the video. I can't see your video, Harsh. Stop. Aditi and Satnam and Rahul, everyone stop. Rudra, please stop. Put your hands up in the air. I want to see your hands. दोनों हाथ ऊपर. I want to see both the hands. Yeah. Come on, Aditya. Both the hands up. Both the hands ऊपर. Okay. If I'd asked this to my nephew who's in grade 5, he would have said, "अरे मामा क्या सवाल पूछ रहे हो? कितना आसान है एक स्क्वायर को डिवाइड करना." Toing. So-called intelligent people who are DPOs and AMs and AMD, X1 and AGMs and whatever, we were not able to do something a 5th standard student could have done. Shame, puppy, shame. You agree, right? My question to you, my dear brothers and sisters, is this. Why was it not possible for us to do something that a 5th standard student could have done? Please put your answers in chat. Yeah, if you want to unmute also is okay, but yeah. Overcomplicating things, wonderful. Yeah, anything else?
So conditioning.
Conditioning, okay, wonderful. Overthinking, Nitin Kumar says overthinking, wonderful.
No, overthinking actually, few minutes back when we did 4 this thing. So our mind will be more complicated, then more complex thing will come.
Wonderful. Okay. Someone says pressure. अरे यार 10 मिनट में क्या 10 सेकंड में क्या pressure आया? Huh? Anyway, there are three lessons that we will learn from this small game that we did, and these three lessons are very important for you to become a very good storyteller. But more importantly, they are very important for you to become a great leader. At the end of the day, all of you want to become leaders, right? And great leaders always are great storytellers. Okay. So what are these lessons? Number one, the debate of complex versus simple. From childhood, we have all been trained to think that agar main hi-fi baat karu, if I use jargon, if I use words that people don't understand, people will respect me. But if I'm simple, they will not respect me. But time and again, history has proven that it is the people who have made things simple for others and who have been simple themselves who have changed this world. Lesson number one, always run behind simplicity. Number two, can you all take the sheet of paper in front of your face? जो drawing है उसको अपने सामने लाइएगा. Just bring it in front of your face so that you can see the drawing. Yeah, just अपने सामने so that you can see the drawing. Hold it in front of your face. Okay? और उसको अभी 90 डिग्री आड़ा घुमाइए. Rotate it 90 degree anti-clockwise. Satnam, you'll have to see the drawing that way. I've done it on the screen. Ignore the yellow and can you see the answer to the third problem in front of you? Ignore the yellow box. Can you see the answer to the red problem in front of you? Yeah? The whole outline is nothing but the answer to the third problem that you saw. Yes, Kaushal? You're able to see it? Yeah? Aditya and Sudesh? Yeah? 99% of times, the solutions to our problems are right in our hands. But because we are running like a horse with blinds, sometimes we don't see the answer. In life, before you take decisions, it's very, very important that you do a 360-degree rotation and look at everything and all perspectives before you decide what is right. कल जो सही था, आज शायद सही नहीं हो सकता है. Which brings me to the third thing. the chidiya, I only give you the puzzle. In which scenario do you think you will be able to do it faster? A or B? Why?
बिकॉज इसमें सर हमें पुजल दिख रहे हैं कि हमें कहाँ पे कौन से मतलब
Wonderful. Because you saw the big picture, right? So when people know what's the big picture, it is very easy for them to follow. A lot of us who are innovators, we go into the details. So what Daniel Pink says is not just focus, but symphony. Whenever you talk about something, talk about the big picture. The judges in the intrapreneur competition are not going to look at this runs at 333 RPM, this runs at this efficiency. No. Sir, when we fit this into our car will run for 10 kilometers extra. How do I do it? 1, 2, 3, 4. So whenever you communicate, because the time you're going to have to communicate is very short. So communicate in such a way that you show the big picture. Okay? Second one, Drishti. आप कहाँ पर हैं? Where are you from, Drishti? Noida. Wonderful. So आप Noida से, let us say you're traveling to Varanasi. Okay? 4 घंटे का बस जर्नी है. You're sitting on the window, दृष्टि, ठीक है? एंड विंडो में आपको सिर्फ यही दिख रहा है, पत्थर 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 पत्थर, पहाड़ पहाड़, पत्थर पत्थर पत्थर, नथिंग एल्स. आपका जर्नी कैसे रहेगा?
वेरी बोरिंग.
वेरी बोरिंग. ठीक है. नाउ लेट मी आस्क हर्ष खानकर.
यस सर.
ओके, तुम्ही पण एक ट्रिप मध्ये जातोय, ठीक है? यू आर ऑन अ ट्रिप, यू आर सिटिंग इन द विंडो एंड फॉर 3 hours you are only seeing this kind of a scenery. Sea, nice mountains, clouds, birds. How will your trip be, Harsh?
Sir, it will be good. अच्छा रहेगा.
मजा आएगा, राइट? अभी आप दोनों जाके सतनाम को मिलते हैं. दृष्टि, आप क्या बोलोगे सतनाम को जर्नी के बारे में? बहुत बोरिंग था. हर्ष बोल रहे हैं सतनाम को कि यार बहुत मजा आया. अभी सतनाम कंफ्यूज्ड. क्यों? क्योंकि आप दोनों एक ही बस में बैठे हो. So Aditi is on the left, Drishti is on the left side, and Harsh is on the right side. Many a times we don't see Harsh's perspective, we only see Drishti's perspective. Satnam will get confused. वो बोलेगा अरे दृष्टि क्या बोल रहे हो यार, तुम इतना मजा आया बोल रहे हो वो जर्नी में और तुम बोल रहे हो गलत है, right? Which is what Daniel Pink spoke about, the power of empathy and not just logic. कभी कभी अपने को दूसरे के नजरिए से जिंदगी को देखना पड़ता है. When you are pitching your innovation, the other person sitting on the other side might be a marketing head of Maruti Suzuki, might be a sales head of Maruti Suzuki, might be a electronics head of Maruti Suzuki. He doesn't understand mechanical engineering. She doesn't understand. So you have to put yourself in their shoes and communicate your idea so people understand. And that is what Daniel Pink spoke about, empathy. These are 2 very important skills that you and I need to be also to become a better leader. Just think of Satnam, okay? If he was your boss, he will now be confused. यार मैं किसकी बात सुनूं? Right? एक बोल रहा है जर्नी मजा नहीं आ रहा है, एक बोल रहा है जर्नी में बहुत बोर रहा है, अच्छा लगा. Now Satnam is confused. But when Satnam puts himself in the shoes of Harsh, and when he puts himself in the shoes of Drishti, then he sees the 2 perspectives. So जब भी आप communicate कर रहे हो, दूसरे के नजरिए से पहले अपने इस चीजों को देखिएगा. क्योंकि आप खुद के नजरिए से देखते हो तो आपको लगता है मुझे सही है. मुझे लगता है सबको तमिल मालूम है तो मैं तमिल में कविता बोलूंगा. सबको तमिल नहीं मालूम and I am gone, right? So that is where empathy comes in. Now let's understand how do we build an intrapreneur mindset, right? What is an intrapreneur? It's basically someone who thinks like an entrepreneur and is employed, right? For all practical purposes, all of you are employed with Maruti Suzuki. So you have to think of as an intrapreneur and not as an entrepreneur, because you're not going to quit your job and come out, okay? Where everyone sees problems, what do entrepreneurs see? They see opportunities. So all of you, those of you who still don't have an idea, all that you need to think of is ki when you come to your factory, when you come to your office, when you work in your office, what are the big problems that you face? And each of them is a potential innovation idea. Each of them is a potential entrepreneurial idea. When someone saw that in his company they were using WebEx, he was working for WebEx, and he saw that WebEx is so rigid, so unflexible. He said, यार इसको ठीक करना है. And that is the birth of Zoom. So Zoom was built because an employee saw the problems that his customers were going through. There was a guy who wanted to go from Hyderabad to Chennai for his Diwali holidays. He couldn't go. All his friends were complaining कि bus नहीं मिलता है, bus नहीं मिलता है. He saw an opportunity. He built Red Bus. Fanindra Sama sold that company for almost 8,000 plus crores in recently. So आप जो जिंदगी में रोज आप क्रिप करते हो, अरे ये ठीक नहीं है, अरे वो ठीक नहीं है, ये फैक्ट्री का जो बूम गेट है जल्दी से खुलता नहीं है. For you, it looks like a problem, but for an entrepreneur, it's an opportunity. So can you look at it as an innovation idea? Why do we need to look at innovation? Because when Harvard did a research as to in the next 30 years, what are going to be the most important skills, they came up with this list. I'm not going to talk about all those lists. Persuasion, technology design, resilience, complex. And you look at this, these are all skills that an entrepreneur has. So, अगर आपको भाई साहब और बहन जी आपको you want to lead the next 20 years, 30 years in your career, you will have to start thinking like an entrepreneur. Whether you become or no doesn't matter, but you have to start thinking. The life of an employee is like a circle. Like someone, I think Rohan or I think Devang, someone put up the slide, right? रोज वही same चीज again bore हो जाता है. The life of an innovator is little bit more colorful, थोड़ा रंगीन होता है because you're doing something innovation. But the moment you stop the innovation, done. The life of an entrepreneur is fully colorful, rangeen murgi types, right? It is fun, it is enjoyable, and that's why it is my goal and the goal of your team at Maruti Suzuki to make all of you think and behave like an entrepreneur. What do entrepreneurs do? They have a future orientation. They don't look at today, they look at the next 40 years. What do? They collaborate, they use creativity, they use innovation, they solve things critically. And for you as an employee, what is the benefit of being an entrepreneur? One, the most important thing, your well-being will increase. I have seen people who have worked in the same company for 20 years and they are so frustrated with life. I have seen people who have been innovators in their company and they go to their office every day feeling happy. So if you want to have satisfaction in your life, if you want to have well-being and you can't take the risk of quitting your job, the best thing you can do is to become an entrepreneur. So when you become an entrepreneur, a very important question comes. How do I evaluate my idea? क्योंकि अगर आप प्रदीप की तरह बेवकूफ करोगे तो वो आइडिया आपको लगेगा ग्रेट है, but it may not be right. So there are 5 ways that you evaluate an idea. The 5 things can be put into 3 buckets. 1, आपके आइडिया के कारण इंपैक्ट क्या होने वाला है? Will it help Maruti Suzuki make more money? Will it help Maruti Suzuki's customer feel more happier? Will it help my office workspace become more happier or more efficient? Will it solve some safety issue for all the women employees? The impact could be multiple. Number 2, you have to look at the scale. If I am able to do this only at the Manesar plant, it is an innovation, yes. But will people give it higher respect? No. But if the same idea can be put in your Chennai plant, it can be put in your Bulandshahr plant, it can be put in your Hyderabad plant or Hyderabad office, then the scalability is high. And the third lens that you look at it is, इसमें नया क्या है? Is there something new? आज तक हम लोग ऐसा कर रहे थे, आज से हम लोग ऐसा करने वाले हैं. So what is the newness of the whole thing? So if I look at it as a business, how would I look at it? Number 1, what's the value proposition? कि इससे किसका फायदा हो रहा है, क्या बेनिफिट हो रहा है? Value proposition is nothing but what is the benefit of it. My mother doesn't care that the fridge is running on a 230 volt motor. She doesn't care that the fridge has a 300 liter capacity. All she cares is अगर आंटी आप इसमें डोसा का आटा रखोगे, कल शाम तक भी आप रखोगे, वो खराब नहीं होगा. So that's the value proposition for my mother. The number 2 is what is the competitive advantage? By doing this innovation, is your company able to beat all the other competitors? Will it help Maruti Suzuki become better than Hyundai? Will it help Maruti Suzuki become better than Mercedes-Benz? Will it help your dealer do better than all the other dealers in his region? So what is the competitive advantage? The third evaluation I would do is how do I implement it? Is it easy to implement it or do I need lots of money? Because when there's a big capital, then your company, because it's a big company, they will take more time to implement it. But if it's something easily implementable, they will probably prefer it. The fourth is return on investment. तुमने इस पे 40 घंटा गवाया है. Are we at least benefiting 10 lakh rupees out of this whole thing? So what is the return I am getting? And finally, can you make this really big? Not one Maruti plant, but every Maruti plant can have this idea, right? So now that we have come up with these ideas, it is very important where Aditya and Suraj and team and everyone in Maruti and Satnam are doing this competition कि आप लोगों के पास idea तो आ गया. अब important चीज क्या है? Communicating that idea to your bosses or to the jury members or whatever, right? Because great ideas, the problem is we are technically so close to the idea, we never see the other person's perspective. So how do we communicate? We communicate with the power of storytelling, and that's what I'm going to do in this last 20 minutes that I have with you to help all of you understand how to use storytelling in pitching your idea. And my promise to all of you is in the next 20 minutes, I will give you a formula by using which if you are here at storytelling today, I will take you here. It's a money back guarantee. ठीक है? आपने पैसा नहीं दिया है, फिर भी money back हो जाएगा. Right? So let's get something. Okay? Suraj, this is to you. ठीक है? नहीं, Suraj नहीं. I think Suraj already spoke. So let me ask. I can't see anyone here. Why am I seeing only 6 people on my screen? Is it something to do with? Okay, done. Aditi, I'll have to use you again as my guinea pig. ठीक है? Aditi, 2 legs was on 3 legs, having 1 leg. Then along comes 4 legs and takes 1 leg from 2 legs. 2 legs then thrashes 4 legs with 3 legs and gets his 1 leg back. Can you repeat this to me?
Not now.
Not now? ठीक है. Now I'll give you the story in a different way. ठीक है? एक आदमी 2 पैर वाला आदमी 3 पैर वाले कुर्सी पे बैठा था और एक लेग पीस खा रहा था. एक कुत्ता आया 4 लेग वाला, उसने लेग पीस छीन लिया. 2 लेग वाले आदमी ने 3 लेग वाले चेयर से 4 लेग वाले कुत्ते को मारा और एक लेग पीस को वापस छीन लिया. Now repeat the story for me.
A 2-legged man was sitting on a 3-legged chair, eating 1 leg. Then a 4-legged dog came, snatched 1 leg, and the 2-legged man ran behind the 4-legged dog. The 3-legged chair fell, and he snatched the 1 leg back.
How did that happen, Aldi, so fast? And that is the power of storytelling, because when you put it in the form of story, people are able to follow it and they're able to remember it, right? So number 1, why storytelling works. And when you do it visually, even more powerful. So when you communicate your ideas, don't talk about the gear ratio and the efficiency and all that stuff. I have a friend, Harsh Khankar. Harsh comes to office every day and it takes him 45 minutes for the AC to start cooling the room. Harsh struggles for the first 45 minutes of work, and hence for Harsh, I have invented this new compressor which will instantly cool his room. Now what's happening is, I am putting myself in Harsh's shoes. I am imagining a guy called Harsh. I don't know his face, but I know the problem. But if you tell me that the efficiency ratio of the cooling HVAC in the office is very bad and hence many employees are inefficient, I don't care a damn about it, right? Number 2, Harsh, this question is to you. रानी मर गई, राजा मर गया. कुछ फीलिंग हुआ? The king died, the queen died. No feeling, right? अभी the queen died और राजा देवदास बन के मर गया. अब क्या हुआ? हर्ष.
Yes,
Now you are able to imagine one guy पूरा दाढ़ी वाड़ी रख के दारू पी के roaming around, right? So what was the difference? The first one was a fact. Queen died, king died. Second one made Harsh think, because I added an element which I call as story. Facts tell, stories sell. So when you want to sell your idea to people, you have to package it in the form of a story. क्योंकि फैक्ट तो सबको मालूम है, लेकिन फैक्ट बिकता नहीं है. Your customer doesn't care about your car's colors. He doesn't care about the chassis length. He doesn't care about the dicky liquid space. What he cares is, sir, आपके दोनों कुत्ते, आपकी पत्नी और तीनों बच्चों को आप कार में बिठा के यहां से कन्याकुमारी तक जाओ, the car will not get repaired. That is the story your customer wants to hear. And that's why stories sell. So now how do you and I become better at storytelling, right? So what is it that about stories that makes them so great? Number one, stories take something very complex and make it simple, right? Let me ask this question to Aditi. Aditi, I can't see you on the video now. Maybe you're there or not there, I don't know. This is why I'm a little handicapped on Microsoft. Aditi, the first time, three-legged, two-legged, one-legged, if I were to tell it to the watchman, जो अनपढ़ है आपके फैक्ट्री के सामने, wherever you are, right? Do you think he would have understood it? No, right? But
no, sir. Even
you didn't understand. Okay, ठीक है, difficult. But the second time when I said एक आदमी चेयर पे बैठा था, कुत्ता आया, उसने लेग पीस छीन लिया, you were able to understand?
Yes, sir.
Why? Because it was simple.
Because I could picture it.
Absolutely. And it was simple. Very important, it was simple, right? So stories by default are always simple. 9.88 meters per second square. Alina, 9.88 meters per second square. What is that? Alina, do you remember one joker sitting below an apple tree and an apple falling on his head? Who's it? You're on mute, Alina.
Mute.
And he found gravity, which is 9.88 meters per second square. So, because, why did Alina remember it after so many years? I think you would have heard it when you were in grade 5 or 4. Because it was put in the form of a story and the story was very simple. 5-year-old Alina will never have understood 9.88 meters per square, but she understood a guy sitting below an apple tree. Stories are always simple. Number 2, stories take, just give me 1 second, something is stuck in my throat. Hot water, please. Yeah. Number 2, stories take things that are abstract and make them concrete. What do I mean by abstract and concrete? Let me ask this to Sai. Okay, Sai Prudvi. Sai, if I tell you that every box of popcorn that you have during the theater break in the theater has 33.7892 milligrams of trans fat. Okay, 33.7892 milligrams of trans fat, which is very, very bad for your health. Okay, next time when you go to a theater, Sai, and buy a box of popcorn, what will come to your mind the first thing?
This might be unhealthy.
Might be unhealthy. Will you remember 33.7865?
No.
No? Okay.
No.
Sai, what if I tell you that every box of popcorn, the amount of bad oil is equal to the amount of bad oil in 6 samosas, half a kg desi ghee sweet, 2 chicken pieces which are deep fried 3 times. Whatever is the bad oil in this is the bad oil in 1 box of popcorn. Now tell me, when you go to buy popcorn, first what will come to your mind? No, but what will come to your mind? 6 samosas, chicken and blah blah blah. 33.786. Can you see it in your mind? It is abstract. Samosa, chicken and jalebi, can you see it in your mind? That's concrete. The human brain doesn't understand abstractness, it only understands concreteness. Stories have the power to bring in concreteness. First time Aditi was not able to see. Second time she was able to see the person sitting on the chair and the leg piece and all that stuff. So when you communicate your ideas, it has to be concrete. आंख बंद करके अगर मेरे को पिक्चर मेरे दिमाग में नहीं बन रहा है, abstract. आंख बंद करके मेरे को पिक्चर बन रहा है, concrete. Let me give you one more example. Dog. Satnam, did the alphabets D-O-G come to your mind now?
Yes.
The alphabets D-O-G, did it come? No. Rudra is saying, some image of a dog would have come to your mind. Because the brain only understands concreteness. It doesn't understand abstractness. So when you communicate in such a way that people are able to see. Don't tell them ये 343 RPM पर चलता है. Tell them, sir, ये ऐसा तेज दौड़ता है कि in 10 minutes it will reach Pune. That is what I understand. Don't tell me that the capacity of this bottle is 7.86 liters. It means 4 दिन आपको जितना पानी चाहिए उतना ये बॉटल में है. because I can see that 4 din. I can't see 7.86 liters in the bottle. So make it concrete. Number 3, stories take facts and convert them into emotions. Why? Because we are all emotional beings. हमारा हर decision emotion के साथ लिया जाता है. As much as you and I don't want to believe it, all our decisions are driven by emotions. Okay? We then justify that decision through logic. The part of the brain that really takes decisions is actually an emotional part. The logical part never takes decisions. Okay? Let me give you an example. So, Sudesh, this question is to you. Okay? 70,200 Indian women die every year of cervical cancer. The only cancer that has a vaccine. Okay? 70,200 Indian women die every year. And you know how costly the vaccine is? Only 1,200 rupees. Yet, 70,200 women die every year. Did you feel bad hearing this, Sudesh? You'll have to unmute yourself.
Yes, it is bad. Yes,
Okay,
it is bad.
done. Now I'll tell you something different, Sudesh. Every 8 minutes, one Indian woman dies of cervical cancer. Every 8 minutes. मतलब जब से ये सेशन स्टार्ट किया है, 6 should have died. Every 8 minutes, एक औरत मरती है cervical cancer के कारण. The only cancer that has a vaccine. Did you feel even more bad now, Sudesh?
Yes, more bad.
More bad? Are you good at mathematics, Sudesh?
Yeah, good in mathematics.
60 divided by 8 multiplied by 24 multiplied by 365 कीजिए कितना आता है?
It is lesser than 72,000.
It is 70,200. It's exactly the same number that I said earlier. 1 every 8 minutes is equal to 70,200. So why did you feel a little different the second time, Sudesh? You should have felt the same, no? Because when I said 1...
It is more.
Why?
It has emotions.
Absolutely. You know what happened? I said 1 Indian woman, तो आपके अनजाने में some woman that you knew automatically came to your mind. And what's your relationship with that? It could be your neighbor, your sister, your colleague, your friends, whoever. Your relationship with that person is emotional. And hence, there was more emotion triggered in you and you said, oh my God, मेरे को जाके आज अपने घर पे बताना है कि ऐसा एक कैंसर है और उसका वैक्सीन है. Because you are an emotional being, every goddamn person in the world is an emotional being. And when I say emotion, it doesn't necessarily mean the Rona Dona wala emotion. Fear is an emotion. Greed is an emotion. When you go and tell your boss that this will help the company save 2%, he may not care. But you tell your boss, sir, when we do this, automatically in your appraisal, you will get 30% extra. Now greed kicks in. That's an emotion. We take decisions by emotion, which is what Mother Teresa said. Show me the mass and I shall do nothing, but show me the one and I shall act. So Mother Teresa's charities, they never ask for money for 10,000 children. They will always ask for one poor boy called Pradeep, and all of you will try to help Pradeep because you are emotionally now connected to Pradeep. Stories remove the consistency and bring in the unexpected. Like today when I started the session, and I can see Sai, Satnam, Sudesh, Harsh, Aditi and Rudra on my screen. Just raise your hands. Did you expect me to put on a song? And Alina also. No, right? So suddenly you are expecting one guy to talk to you about innovation and entrepreneurship and storytelling, and I am putting one slow song. What happened to you? Suddenly your mind is awakened because the unexpected happened. The easiest way to grab attention is to break a pattern. Let me do this again now, okay? Let's say today I am a speaker in your Maruti Suzuki plant. I come and I say, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. What happened? All your attention is on me because it's the unexpected. You expected this guy to do buck, and suddenly this guy is just silent and looking at everyone. The easiest way to grab attention is to do the unexpected. Stories have the power to bring in the unexpected in the conversation. Number 5, stories remove doubt and bring in credibility. Why did you believe your physics teacher that something called gravity exists? Because it came in the form of a story. Why did we all get trained that you have to do hard work? Because when you were small, your grandmother said, कौवा था, मटका था, उसमें पत्थर डाला, पानी ऊपर लेके आया, मतलब हार्डवर्क करना अच्छा है, because it built in the credibility. Why do we all agree to send money to someone who sends us a mail saying that I am mailing from HDFC HR, you have been given a job, to get this job you now have to pay 10,000 rupees. Many of us get tempted to do this because it comes in the form of a story. Stories build in credibility. And finally, stories are always in the form of a structure. I'll give you an example. अमिताभ बच्चन पैदा हुआ, स्कूल गया, कॉलेज गया, नौकरी गया, रिटायर हो गया, पिक्चर खत्म. हर्ष, पिक्चर अच्छा लगा? नो राइट? क्या अरे क्या हुआ? ये तो नॉर्मल जिंदगी है, राइट? अमिताभ बच्चन पैदा हुआ, स्कूल गया, कॉलेज गया, और एक दिन कॉलेज से आते वक्त उसका बाइक उड़ने लगा. अब आप पिक्चर देखोगे, राइट? बिकॉज द story is now in a story structure. What is a story structure? It's like a square wave. Everything is normal first, and then suddenly something unexpected happens, which is where the villain comes in. The hero fights the villain, which is where the story is hot, and then they lived happily ever after. So if I were to draw a graph, it's always like a square graph. Take any story in the world, it will always have a square graph kind of a layout. तीन भालू थे, 3 bears were there. They lived happily in the jungle. They used to pluck fruits and flowers and take honey from it. They were living a wonderful life. And then one day suddenly a fox came into their house. Now the story has become excited. See, the graph has gone up. The father bear fought the fox. He got killed. The mother bear fought the fox. She got killed. Then the baby bear took a small उंडेल और क्या बोलते हैं उसको हिंदी में, I don't know what's the name for it, right? Gullak or whatever, right? And hit a slingshot, right? Slingshot, and hit the fox, and the fox died. The young baby bear and the sister bear then lived happily ever after. You see what's the waveform? Flat. Suddenly there's a jerk. There's an overcoming of the problem and coming back. So every great pitch, when you pitch it, first create the normal life. Then tell people what's abnormal in that life. Create the villain. And then your product or your innovation is what? Is the hero. Because my hero is coming, so Harsh is now able to sit in his office, and the moment he enters his office, the AC starts cooling him. Right? So that's the structure of a story. Now let me get you the formula. Okay, so you go into a room, and let me now ask this to Aditya probably. Aditya, you go into a room, you're in this innovation, entrepreneurship competition. All of them are busy. Someone is talking on the phone. Someone is on WhatsApp. What do you want first?
I think they should hear first.
Right. So you want their attention, right? You want them to pay attention. You want them to notice. How do you get people to pay attention? By doing the unexpected, right? For example, let's assume Aditya goes there and says, "Mere saamne wali khidki mein." Now what will happen? अरे ये क्या यार, ये इनोवेशन पिच करने हैं, ये क्या गाना गा रहा है, सब गाली दे रहे हैं शायद, लेकिन अटेंशन किधर है सबका? आदित्य पे है. So do the unexpected. Now Aditya is talking about something that those people don't know, because Aditya is SGMR, is SMGR, DPO, DE1X1, right? Probably the Sai Prudvi, who is AM, E and 4AD, doesn't have a clue what Aditya does for a day-to-day job. How will Aditya make Sai Prudvi understand? By making it concrete. So give examples that Prudvi will understand from his. Have you gone to Charminar in Hyderabad? Did you see those 4 towers? Similarly, in our car, there are 4 axles on the 4 corners. Now Sai Prudvi is able to understand what Aditya is saying. Then what does Aditya want? He wants everyone to understand. Because some judges from sales, someone is from HR, someone is from operations, someone is from engineering. They all want to understand. How do you make everyone understand? By making it simple. Now once everyone understood, do you think they will all agree and believe? No. When will people agree and believe? If Aditya says that he came up with this idea, they will not agree. But if he says that I saw a similar problem in Tesla and I read there and now I am using the same thing and it has been approved by ARAI, everyone will believe. What is that? Credibility. Or Aditya says that, boss, I worked for 30 years and I have done this. Why did all of you believe in me today? Because when I started off talking about my failures. Immediately सुदेश को लगा रहे ये तो अपने जैसा है यार, ये भी फेल हुआ है, 2 कंपनी डुबाया है इसने, चलो इसकी बात सुनते हैं, right? Because there was credibility built in. And then how do you make people change? They have to care for it. They have to find meaning. My friend for 20 years did not stop smoking. One day, overnight, he stopped smoking. You know why? Because his daughter said, Daddy, अगर कल से आप smoke करके घर पे आओगे, तो मैं आपके पास में बात करने नहीं आऊंगी. Now he cared about it because he was emotional. Now let me put all these things, and then how do you make them act? By putting it in the form of a story structure. Now let me give you the formula for all this. I need all these things, right? I need people to notice unexpected. I need them to understand concrete, blah, 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 blah. Let me remove everything in black. What's left? These things. Let me remove everything except the first letter. What's left? Alina, can you see a pattern in what you're seeing there on the screen? Yes, Sudesh.
Success.
Absolutely. The formula to become a storyteller is SUCCES. Next time when you talk to people, ask yourself, is it simple enough that the watchman standing in front of the factory can understand what I'm saying in? Is there something unexpected? 100 people before me pitched in the Maruti Suzuki Intrapreneurship competition. Everyone said, good morning. Thank you so much, Aditya and Satnam and Rohan for giving me this opportunity. I am so honored and privileged. 99 people said this, and suddenly one guy comes, Rudra, and he says, now I am going to talk to you about how we make sweets in Bengal. Unexpected. Can you make it concrete so that everyone has an image of what you're speaking? Can you make it credible? When you are a young guy in a factory, people may not believe it. But when you bring in credibility in the form of research, when you bring in credibility in the form of results, that sir, I'm not saying this just like that. I've done this 100 times in Harsh's room, and out of 100 out of 100, the AC got kicked in within 1 second. And hence I say this will work. Is there an emotional element? Will it make greed in the judge's mind? Wow, by doing this, Maruti will sell 10 times more cars. Yeah, let's do it. By doing this, we will have 0 accidents. Yeah, let's do it. Fear, greed, happiness, joy, these are all emotions. Can you bring it in your conversation? And finally, can you put it in the form of a story structure? When I listen to your pitch, it should sound like a square wave. Not da 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 da, but da 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 da. Right? So it has to form a square wave. And that, my dear friends, is the formula to become better at storytelling. SUCCES. Is it easy? It's easy. I told you, money back guarantee, I will give you a formula. And always ask yourself, and coincidentally, this somehow looks like the Maruti Suzuki logo. It was not intentional. Somehow it turned out that way. Stop asking what's in it for me and start asking what's in it for them. हम सब खुदगर्ज हैं, हमारे मन में एक ही सवाल रहता है कि इसमें मेरा क्या है. When you are pitching your presentation, when Harsh is in the audience, when Sai Prithvi is in the audience, you have to answer what's in it for them and not what's in it for you. Your innovation may be the greatest thing, but if right now Sai Prithvi, all he needs is upma and you're selling him biryani, he's not going to buy it. So always answer what's in it. Let me close my session with this simple quote that Atticus said. He said, go in search of love. Never go in search of love. Go in search of life and love will find you. I've tweaked it a little different. Don't go in search of ideas. Go in search of enjoying your work at Maruti Suzuki. Go in search of life and ideas will find you. Innovations will find you. It's been a pleasure talking to all of you. My name is Pradeep Yuvraj.